Morning, friends. It is April 6th, and I'm glad to welcome Dick Friedline here this morning to talk about the Meals Ministry. But before we get there, let me just remind you that this coming Sunday is Palm Sunday. We'll have a large procession with the choirs and the children at 11:10, but we also have the 8:30 service as we normally do. So we hope that some of you who perhaps haven't been back in person will choose to come and be in person throughout this Holy Week. Just as a reminder, Palm Sunday, and then we have Maundy, Thursday, Good Friday, and then, of course, Easter morning at sunrise at 7, and then regular 8:30 and 11:10 worship on that Lord's Day as well. So we're looking forward to Holy Week. It should be great. So this morning, Dick Friedline is here to talk about the Meals Ministry. This is one of the primary outreaches we have to our community. It is such a wonderful light in this community, and people have benefited from not only receiving meals, but benefited also by volunteering to be the servants who take those meals. So I'm going to ask Dick to give you a little bit of background and purpose and sort of how they operate, and maybe I'll ask him some questions so that we can get some details. But Dick, we're glad you're here, and tell us a little bit about Elfenwald Home Meals Ministry.
Okay, thank you. I'm glad to be here. I've been involved in the ministry for approximately 6 years, started as a volunteer. I have to admit, before I started, I knew nothing about meals. I knew we had a meals ministry, but I didn't know anything about it. So I'm going to try to be very basic about it. You know, the purpose is, it's a ministry of Elfenwald Presbyterian Church. It's one of the main things we do. Our purpose is to deliver meals to clients that have a need. Those individuals can be older folks who are unable to prepare meals. It could be someone who has had a knee operation and just simply for a period of time is not able to prepare meals. So our whole purpose really is just to provide them with food. You know, a basic thing that we all have. There's no eligibility requirements. Income is not an issue, and it can be ongoing or long-term. Some people come for a few weeks and then they're gone. Other people have been on a part of meals since I've been here. So it's exciting to be here, and I will say I'm very blessed to be a part of this ministry. One requirement is our service area. You know, we service primarily Shaler and Hampton Township, Etna and Millvale and surrounding areas. Key being an obvious one that it needs to be in our geographic area, so we can only go so far. The detail as far as what we do, we provide meals. So what that means is we provide a combination of a hot meal and a cold meal delivered every day, 9:30 to 10:30 in the morning, directly to the client's house. And the cold meal is like a bag lunch. It's a sandwich, milk, bread and butter, dessert, salad, juice. I mean, it's pretty comprehensive. It's a pretty good cold meal. And the hot meal is basically a 3-part meal that's put in a container that's sealed and designed to be microwaved so that the client can eat it when they wish. They can put it in the microwave, heat it up, and there's dinner fully prepared. And of course, it's nutritious and designed to be a good, healthy meal. Let's see here. All this, well, I should mention, it's all prepared in the Elfenwald kitchen, you know, which we've been blessed that it was recently remodeled, so it's a very, very nice facility. And what makes it work is the people involved. What we have is, first of all, we have cooks that make the hot meal. And I should mention Pam Dudgeon, who handles all the ordering of the food and prepares the menus. And then there are 4 other cooks that work on a more part-time basis. Well, I guess we all kind of work on a part-time basis and collectively make it happen. Then we have kitchen volunteers that prepare the cold meal. They make the sandwiches and do all those things, and we put it out on tables in the back room, and then put it all together in the bags, and then when the hot meals are cooked, then the kitchen volunteers put it together in the containers and seal them, and then we put it all together in groups, and we have routes, yeah. Just having a senior moment here. We have routes that then we have volunteer drivers that come in and they take the food for their routes and their clients and they deliver them. This all happens from 9:30 to 10:30 in the morning. And some statistics. We've been involved, or we've been part of this ministry's been here, what, about 30 years? Yeah. It started as Meals on Wheels, which I'm sure everybody's heard of. You know, it's kind of a nationwide kind of thing. But then at some point the church decided to take it under the umbrella of the church, which I think was a good thing because then we can totally control everything that goes on. And we have about 80 to 90 clients. We serve 600, last year we averaged 650 meals a week. Which comes to about 33,000 meals last year. So if you think about volume, that's a lot of meals.
That's a lot of meals.
What we send out, besides getting food from Gordon Food Service, which is a reputable agency, we also receive bread and desserts from Shop and Save in Etna, so I would encourage you all to support them and thank them for what they do if you go there. We get food from restaurants and other places. Recently we started getting food from Pacific Hospital. We work with 412 Food Rescue. I'm sure many of you have heard of them. They work with people like us and restaurants to use extra food that is available so that it goes to good use. And donations from organizations and individuals. But more than anything, one thing I haven't really hit on in detail is the volunteers. Without the volunteers, we have 30 plus people that help in the kitchen, and we have 60 plus driver volunteers that just give of their time. It varies, sometimes once every week or two, some do it every week. I mean, without these volunteers, it would not work. I mean, because then we would have to call on, I don't know if the ministry would work without volunteers.
Absolutely not. I mean, and maybe say a little bit more, you've hinted at it, but the volunteers aren't here every day. It's not like they're here Monday through Friday. It's separate sets of volunteers, but individuals serve when it's convenient and when they're able.
Right. And I should mention the time frames. The kitchen volunteers come at 8, and by 10:30 or so, they're usually gone and everything's done from their perspective. The drivers come around 9:30, and most routes take at max an hour. I mean, varies a little with the weather. In the winter, it might take a little longer, but you know, they do it at their convenience, and you know, scheduling is sometimes a challenge, so we're always looking for people that are willing and able to do that, but they do it at their convenience. Somebody will call and say, hey, I'm available on Wednesdays. Do you need somebody that, you know, could I help out in your ministry? And we just fit them in, and, you know, that's what makes it work. I mean, it's pretty exciting.
So you've mentioned routes. How many routes are there every day?
We have 7 routes at present.
And for each route, there's a driver, but there's also a second person that goes with them, right?
It varies. It depends mostly on the individual. Some people prefer to drive themselves. Others are, a number of our helpers, our drivers are older individuals, and some of them come readily to mind where they were once able to do everything themselves, but now they're not as able. So they say, I'm willing to drive, but I need somebody to be that person to get in and out of the car and take the meal up to the door. So there are 2 people doing it.
So it wouldn't be unusual if there's 7 routes and you have a driver and a helper to have 14 volunteers delivering meals and maybe 6 or more preparing meals. So you're talking 20 volunteers a day.
Yes, that probably would be accurate.
That's a lot of volunteers. So tell people if they want to help, if they can volunteer, what do they need to do?
Well, The first thing they could do is call our number. We have a dedicated number, 412-486-8000, that is dedicated to the Meals Ministry. And I will say, between myself and I have a couple backups who I'm blessed to have, that amongst us we're able to be here every day. And we will always get a message, and we will always return that call. So that would be the first thing. We have brochures that are available here at the church that describe what our ministry is about, and they can be used to give to clients. You know, if you know somebody that has a need for the meals, I mean, they can be given to those people, or they could visit the church website. You know, there's information on our website about the Meals Ministry.
So Dick, you've mentioned clients. If somebody's watching this and would like a meal, or if somebody knows of somebody who could use some help with meals, whenever I come down, I always ask you how many meals today, because it varies from day to day. Not everybody gets 2 meals every day. Some people get different numbers of meals different days of the week.
The variance is almost as many as the clients. We have clients that get both hot and cold every day. We have many that get both hot and cold Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We have clients that get hot meals only. We have several that get cold meals only.
So it differs.
What we do, there's euphemistically, one of the drivers made a little plaque that says Dick's Diner. you know, it's like we're not a deli, but we try to keep it personal. So what we try to do is provide what the client needs.
Great.
If they want hot meals only, that's what we provide. If they want more and they want both, we provide that. If they don't like fish, we have a no fish list. I mean, we try to make it as amenable to the clients as we can, because the whole idea is to provide them a meal that they can't make on their own.
So you mentioned there are donations from groups, people in the church support the Meals Ministry, but there's also a very small cost to the client. Can you tell people what that is?
I didn't even mention that. Yes, if you get just a cold or a hot only, it's $3. If you get both, it's $5. So $5 a day for that.
For 2 meals.
For 2 meals. I mean, I would challenge anyone to go anywhere. You go to McDonald's, you'll pay more than that for a hamburger.
So, so it's not cost prohibitive for anyone.
No.
It's very affordable.
No.
And sometimes you get calls, I know, from adult children who want to get their parents on this plan. That can be a ministry to your parent as well by providing that, right?
Yes, you would be amazed at how many times I've talked to children of these adults, and I know I've been there myself. My very own dad was in Got Meals at some point, and the biggest problem is convincing the person that I have a need here. I can't do this on my own. But I've talked to so many kids that say, "Oh, thank you. This is just something that I didn't know what to do, and I live in Georgia, and my parents are here in Pittsburgh. What can I do?"
Yep.
And the ministry helps in another way, because it provides a means of making contact with those people. And that has actually happened too, where the driver gets back and say, "Hey, so-and-so didn't answer their door today." And I'll call that child in Georgia and say, "Hey, is everything all right with your parent? You may want to check on things." And you know what? We've had situations where that's come into play, and that's a real blessing all around.
Beautiful. And I want to also emphasize, this isn't just a ministry to those who are down and out or can't. This is for anyone who desires it, right?
That's correct.
This is anything that can be helpful for people in certain circumstances.
Right. I've had a number of clients that they've had knee operations, and they just they're confined and can't get around in their own home, and the meals take one thing off of their plate that they don't have to worry about every day. So it's a blessing for them. They're on for 3 weeks and then they're off, and that's that.
Thank you. This is a wonderful ministry, friends, and please know that you can call Dick or Nancy or Trish, who are the coordinators down there, anytime, both to say that you can volunteer, or if you have somebody that would like to receive this, or if you yourself would like to get a meal or some meals throughout the week. There is probably no greater joy coming in here in the mornings, and after the cooks are there for a few minutes, the aroma, the beautiful smell of the meals ministry comes upstairs for us, and we are always smiling and saying, boy, that smells delicious. And they provide healthy and delicious meals for people, and it's just a great outreach and ministry. The volunteers are not just from Elfenwild. They come from all kinds of churches, and even people who are not necessarily churched, who know that this benefits our community and helps people. They come and they help out as well. So I want to thank Dick and his team and all of those volunteers. It really is just a bright light in this community that meets the needs of people right where they are. So continue to support and pray for this meals ministry. As Dick has mentioned, oftentimes the people who go to deliver the meals might be the only contact that person in that home has in that day. And it really is a great, great ministry. I should also say that there are other things that sometimes get added to the meals. There are scout groups or Sunday school classes or even Bible school who provide Valentines or birthday cards or gifts in some special way. There are oftentimes when we might have funeral flowers here after a service, and then they'll take those flowers to the clients the next day as they deliver the meals. So we really make a concerted effort to share the love of God in a very practical way of meeting the real needs of people. So thanks to Dick and the Meals Ministry folks for sharing the light of Christ in that way. So friends, if you have any questions about that, reach out to the Meals Ministry folks. But if there's anything else going on in your life that we need to know about or can help you with, please reach out to us and give us an email or a text or a phone call. I look forward to seeing you throughout this Holy Week, hopefully in person, but if not, everything will be live streamed also online, and you can participate in worship that way. We do miss you, we love you, and we hope that you have a great day. Take care. God bless you.